Alright, so what's going on, guys? My name's Chopper, and welcome back everybody to a brand new video. Hope everybody's having a great day, and in this one, we're going to be talking about the top 5 dirtiest playstyles in PUBG. So these are legitimate strategies that you can run while you're playing your game, and while some of these strategies are actually pretty effective and can help you get wins, they're not necessarily looked up upon by most players. And of course, really quick, just before we get into discussing that, if you guys don't mind leaving a like rating on the video, it only takes a second of your time. It's absolutely free, and it helps me out a ton. And also, if you are new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. Right now, we are getting so close to 200k, and I reckon we'll be there very, very soon. And also, let me know down in the comments which playstyle that we talk about in this video best represents you. Do you do any of these? Are you a dirty player? Let me know. But with that all out of the way, and that being said, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into the top 5 dirtiest playstyles to use in PUBG. So coming in today at our number 5 spot is probably one of the most frustrating types of players to ever go up against in PUBG, and this is the grenade spammer. And I think we've all ran into these at some point or another, or maybe you are one yourself. What I'm really referring to is normally at the end of circles, when it's very, very close, it's down to like the top 5, maybe top 3. At the very end, they'll have, 10 to 15 stacked up and absolutely spam the middle of the circle as soon as everybody has to move in. And it's even a technique that I'll use sometimes given the right scenario, but it doesn't take away from the fact that it's so frustrating to go up against this kind of player, because in reality, there's no effective counter for throwing grenades. You cannot throw them back. There's no like flak jacket or any kind of thing you can put on to reduce that grenade damage. So if you're in the middle of the circle, there's no cover whatsoever. You can't get behind a rock or anything at all, and somebody's throwing grenades. There's literally nothing you can do besides try to end the game as quickly as possible before they go off. What I see most commonly of players that are just trying to get the win is that they'll hardcore camp it out until like the last 5 or so, and then they'll go and lay down until like the last 3, and especially if it's in the middle of an open field, they'll reveal themselves right at the end. They'll still have full armor and everything. Maybe the other player is weak coming out of a fight, and they'll be able to quickly pick off that last person by just throwing the 15 that they had in their back pocket. That's pretty much the best way to ruin someone's day in this game, is get the win like that, because it just feels so cheap. And like I said, I can't knock it a whole lot because I've done it before myself, but I know and I understand that it was a dirty way to win. It was a dirty way to get a kill. So coming into our number 4 spot is a playstyle that I just don't even understand. Like, I'll even give credit to the last one. If you're a nade spammer, at least that can be kind of fun sometimes if you don't take the game too seriously, like you're just messing with people, whatever. Like, I honestly don't care that much. But this kind of player really kind of ticks me off, because not only are you ruining the experience for yourself, but also you're making the game less fun for other players as well. And this is going to be the med tanker. Now, the most common reason that people play like this is to get rank, because obviously you can get points every single day or whatever game mode you're playing by just strictly surviving. So the strategy here is to stock up on as many meds as humanly possible, and also get to a place where you're pretty secluded and players are not likely to be at all. And then from there, all you do is hang out until about the 4th or 5th circle and just spam your meds, surviving as long as possible, staying boosted up, having a ton of first aids and everything, which really aren't that hard to collect, especially on maps like Sanhok and whatever. It's super easy to stay in the blue for extended periods of time, let all the other players die, and then go in at the final circle when it's down to like the top 10, maybe top 15. The reason I find this playstyle particularly dirty and annoying is because of you're wasting everybody's time. Not only you're wasting your own time, you're not actually playing the game or trying to get better at it. You're also not giving that experience to other players who could be fighting you in the game as well. You're kind of just sitting the bench and let all the others fight, and then go in whenever you physically run out of meds to use. And I get that some people use this to get rank, or some people med tank when it's required in the game. They actually need it to survive, but they're actually going to go back in and play. And I have absolutely no problem with that. But when this is your only playstyle and you only hang outside of the blue just to get those survival points every single day, that's where I kind of have an issue. So if you're going to take any advice at all, if you want brownie points from me, just don't be that guy. But moving along here, and coming in at our number 3 spot is a playstyle that's definitely more common than the previous, but doesn't bother me nearly as much. It's something that I expect a game to game now, and I'm pretty much fine with it at this point. It still makes it dirty, but I don't really care. And this, my friends, is going to be the melee trolls. These are things that I'll get typically game to game, and people will either go for a melee weapon or just strictly stay with their fist and try to get that one-shot headshot punch. Their favorite weapon tends to be the pan, and their one and only goal in game is to make your life as miserable as possible. And it gets actually particularly annoying when the melee trolls start to use other equipment to help them in their mission. So, for example, some will throw stun grenades at the very end to stun you up and then just melee you to death, and that can feel really, really frustrating. Not only that, but this happens sometimes, and especially in squad games, like a full squad of 4 will have this coordinated ambush where they'll all throw smokes and stuns at you or your squad and absolutely jump you. I really don't have a problem with people playing like this because it's kind of fascinating to see sometimes these coordinated attacks when squads want to go for it. They're trying to get clips or something like that. It's kind of fun. It's a little bit of a switch up. It makes you think on the fly. And also, they're pretty easy to counter as well. Like, it's something that if you're really trying to play seriously and win a game and you run into somebody like this, all you have to do is keep them out of range. And 99% of the time, they're completely harmless. So it's something that I don't take a problem with. If you want to play like that, then you have the green light from me. I still see it as a relatively dirty way to play the game, but I really can't knock it. Moving along here and coming in at a number 2 spot, I gotta be honest, chat, this is a playstyle that I'm 100% guilty of. I don't do it every single game, but my hands are definitely not clean when it comes to playing like this. And this is gonna be the infamous bridge campers. If you're not familiar with what bridge camping is, which I'm sure most of you are, but I'll give you the scoop in case you aren't. This is when players will sit on a bridge where they know that players are going to funnel through and get to the other side of wherever that bridge may lead. And because they're funneled through that really narrow path, that gives them a perfect opportunity to sit there, wait for people to come by and either pick them up out of cars or out of the water or something. Now, I'd say the most popular place to do this strategy at is on the bridge on Erangel that leads from the military base to the actual main island. But this can be done on any bridge in any map, even smaller ones in Sandrock that just cross ponds. Whatever it is, just given the zone will determine whether you should bridge camp or not. It can be even done in Miramar with the small island leading to the mainland as well. It's a very uncommon one, but it's still possible. But bridge camping is dirty just because if you're set up first and somebody has to take a vehicle through that, otherwise they have no other choice, what are they going to do? There's really no way to counter that besides swerving from side to side when you're trying to get through to throw off that bridge camper shot. That it's your only hope to stay alive in a scenario like that. So while I don't see it as a bad strategy necessarily because it can help you rack up a lot of kills and it does take a bit of skill to bridge camp as well, it doesn't take away from the fact that it's still a pretty dirty playstyle to do. So before we unveil our number 1 spot, ladies and gentlemen, we got to get an honorable mention to the lads, the people that started the heart of trolling in PUBG. And I think you all know who I'm talking about. These kinds of players happen to be pretty common, and you might be one yourself. And if you are, chances are you've probably been playing the game for a while when this kind of style got popular. Everybody, give it up for the huge lads, the OGs, the good old vehicle trolls. Now these players, their mission is to grab their favorite vehicular device. Normally it's a Dacia or a UAZ, and they'll go around, drive these, and their number 1 mission is to harass the player as much as possible. And especially if they happen to be a streamer, they're going to be laying on that horn in the car, just trying to make themselves as much of a presence and annoying as humanly possible. But not only that, vehicle trolls have evolved to a point where now they'll take their vehicles into the last circles when it's normally a top 5 situation and it's a small zone and try to run everybody else over. Sometimes they're successful, sometimes they're not. It's something to always be looking out for. You'll see it every once in a while, but these guys, they are definitely something else, I'll say that much. But now, coming in at our number 1 spot, if I were to ask you a question, and that being, what is the most dangerous animal in the world? You might respond and be like maybe a bear, a mountain lion, a sea urchin, or something along those lines. But if you didn't guess any of those and your answer was snakes, bingo, you would be absolutely correct. Top 10 dangerous places in the world, get out of here. That's going to be Sanok and people laying down. Nah, but all jokes aside though, coming in at the number 1 spot is a term used to describe the most dangerous and annoying, dirtiest player to ever go in PUBG. And this is going to be snakes. And if you're not familiar with what the term means in this game, this is used to describe a player who lays down in the grass for extended periods of time, waits for somebody to walk by to shoot them in the back, being almost completely invisible and making no noise during the process. Now, these are so dangerous because they can be entirely unpredictable. Snakes can be potentially found anywhere where there's at least somewhat of a short grass or bushes, or anywhere they can hide where they're not clearly in plain sight. And I get why players do this. I'm going to play devil's advocate here for a minute. I understand why people play it because they want to take a more conservative approach to it. And I mean, this is a survival game after all, and you got to do what you got to do to get that win. Am I right? But at the same time, I'm not going to defend it as it not being a dirty playstyle, because it is, right? It's something that it doesn't take a ton of skill to do, just to lay down and guard one area, wait for somebody to run by who really doesn't even have the chance to see you. And the only way to effectively counter snakes is, I guess, sharp eyes and awareness. But even that's not going to save you every single time, because there's some really clever ones out there. Now, I'm not saying that every player that lays in the grass is a snake, but I am saying that every snake does lay in the grass. So I think that is going to be the top 5 dirtiest playstyles to do in PUBG. If you're guilty of any of these, let me know which ones. Maybe you're guilty of all of them in the comments. I'm definitely on here for a couple, especially bridge camping. But if any of these playstyles matched up with you, let me know, and let me know your reason of why you like to play that way. But anyways, everybody, I think that is going to be the video for today. Thank you all so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I'm going to be trying out a couple of different style of videos in the very near future. Now, while I will still be doing ranking and top 5s, I'm going to keep that going for PUBG as well. I'm also going to be doing a little bit more gameplay and personality oriented things. I don't want to reveal exactly what I've got planned yet because I just want to post a video and see how everybody reacts to it, and then I'll go from there. But definitely let me know your feedback when that does come out. And also, if you have any suggestions of things that you would like to see as far as PUBG content, definitely let me know in the comments, as I'm absolutely open to suggestions of what people are interested in watching on this channel. But I'm going to be adding those videos along with what I'm currently doing, as well as some quality upgrades that'll be coming in the very distant future, so look out for that. And yeah, so that's what we got coming up, and I'll keep you guys updated as things go on. But thank you all so much for watching. Once again, I really do appreciate it. If this is stuff that you still want to see, definitely show the support, and I'd really appreciate it. And yeah, I will see you guys on the next video or the next live stream. Thank you for watching, and peace out.